Alright, we're back. We're back in black. What were we saying? I don't know. Oh yeah, my throat is fucked. What is this? A game? A mini show? Maybe a one person. Is it Warhammer? For the Emperor. That's actually very well made for one person. Watch the frag movie, so many of you. Someone actually made a frag movie. Of what? Counter-Strike? YouTube? What's it called? It's on your subreddit. Ugh. Come back to me when it's on YouTube.
Welcome to Uganda.
This 1 minute video probably took him like 2 months straight up. Like
Welcome to Uganda.
10. It's on the Twitter. No, it's not on my Twitter. I did some pretty sick shit yesterday. I'm fucking mad though. I was top fragging every single fucking game. Where's my fucking rank up, huh? Where's my rank up? I need to fucking rank up today. Today. And also, yeah, I feel a little bit competitive today. I might do Overwatch plays on the new system they have with the roll check. I don't know if I'm gonna do tank, DPS, or support. But that's like 5 matches for each, right? I'll probably do like 1 or 2. What tank can I play?
Welcome to Uganda.
I guess everyone can play Winston.
Welcome to Uganda.
I can't really play any tanks. I don't even play any tanks. Roadhog. Oh yeah, I can play Roadhog. True. True, very true. Winston and Roadhog. Rainbow Six newsies. Yeah, I like Rainbow Six too. The issue I have with Rainbow Six is the stream snipers. Like it actually makes the game impossible. Like Counter-Strike, it's hard. Overwatch, it's fine. But Rainbow Six, it's like, oh, it's 9. BB, come back. So that's my issue with that is my issue with Rainbow Six. You can shoot through everything.
Can you finish the Warhammer clips? It's only 5 parts.
Is that supposed to be an Eldar? Or why does it look so weird? I want to see some fucking Tyranids. Cool guys don't look at explosions. Your only job is to snipe. You can't even do that right. Fuck is that super armor? This is how I feel like I'm playing against one-sided smoke on Mirage.
Welcome to Uganda.
It's actually... Someone has to show me that, by the way. Someone has to tell me how to do that. From their side, because that shit is fucking OP. Kill Jedis with guns. Who are these guys? Are they supposed to be chaos? Psychos? I never heard of the warhammer. Are they with the humans? Then why are they fighting them? Rebellion. Damn, one guy made this, huh? You could probably go to Netflix and ask for some investments, considering isn't the Warhammer franchise like non-copyrighted or something? Or where am I getting this idea from? Right? Netflix probably already asked him. You crazy? Isn't it? Can't like anyone make a Warhammer game without permission or something? They sold it to literally anyone, but it is copyrighted. Oh. People actually buy the rights for it. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like so many different companies made Warhammer games, so I just figured like, oh, maybe anyone can do it. They have some nice socialistic view on it. I don't know. I don't know, man. But yeah, he should ask. I mean, fucking Netflix is throwing away money on garbage right now. Operating at a loss, probably, nowadays. Breathage has been updated. Yeah, I'm waiting for the final version though, before I go into that game. It's the Space Subnautica one in early access right now. We'll do a motherfucking hardcore shit run, permadeath on that. I'm out of snooze. That is a major issue for everyone involved, including me. He knows who I am. Yeah, you stream fairly late, which is
Welcome to Uganda.
around the time I watch Twitch. I watch like in the middle of the night for me. Yeah, so I watch a couple, not full runs because those shits take forever, literally, but I watch them, yeah. One second, I gotta get some snus. There aren't a lot of
Welcome to Uganda.
raw gameplay streamers around anymore, you know. I gotta give the view where it counts. That's some really fucking cold water. Brain freeze almost. Actually, is cold water good for my throat right now? Fuck it. I'm a Viking. Pure vodka. Suka.
Welcome to Uganda.
Watch new score esports video about Arslan Ash, the Pakistani Tekken kid. I think we watched something about him. I don't need to watch another. I think we watched one recently. New kurzgesagt. I'm only gonna watch it if it's interesting. Otherwise you're banned permanently for wasting 5 seconds of my life. Why did I search for new kurzgesagt?
Welcome to Uganda.
Humans are apes.
Oh, this one is actually
living on a
spooky.
tiny moist.
This shit is spooky as fuck.
Sometimes
The deep sea. That is fucking scarier than space.
the world feels
Not even kidding.
boring. We've visited all the remote islands, conquered the Arctic, and penetrated the deepest jungles. But
There are
is
so many
still one
fucking
place to
species
explore.
we don't even know
It's a
about.
wet
Like,
and deadly desert
majority.
inhabited by mysterious creatures
'cause we can't
living
fucking go
in
down
total
here.
darkness. The deep sea. Let's dive down.
it might be dinosaurs actually. Raw gameplay. I'm preparing for my Subnautica hardcore.
When we look at the sheer
related
scale of the Earth's
expansion.
oceans, it's hard to believe that less than 2% of
Studying
all
is
biomass on
also
Earth
part
lives
of
here.
gameplay.
And of that small percentage, around 90% is located close to the
90%.
surface in the first 200 meters. This is where we begin our journey. Here,
90%
light
in
can
the
still
first
penetrate the
200
water,
meters.
which allows photosynthesis to occur. Phytoplankton, trillions and trillions of single-celled algae and bacteria make up the foundation of the ocean's ecosystem, and they're consumed by bigger plankton who are consumed by other species. The seafloor at this depth is akin to the Amazon rainforest and is often
What if
covered
there's
with coral
a
reefs, algae, and
humanoid
other sea
race
plants that are home to a plethora
at
of
the
sea
very
animals.
bottom?
So far, we've focused most of our
Super
attention on this
technology.
comparatively pleasant environment where we fish,
would
swim,
be something.
pollute, and do science.
Should make a game about
So,
that.
let's dive deeper.
Not mermaids.
Moving from familiar coastal waters into deeper, more remote waters, we eventually reach the
They have
edge of the
feet.
Continental
They walk
Shelf,
on the bottom
where
of
we're
the ocean.
confronted with the Continental Slope, the long descent down to the deep sea. With every additional meter of water, light fades drastically, which means there are basically no more plants, and the seemingly steep continental slope begins to remind us of the surface of the moon. Looking out, we're faced by what seems to be endless open water. Let's leave the slope behind us and enter what's known as the Twilight Zone, the portal to the deep sea. As we sink down further, the water pressure rises to deadly levels. The deepest scuba dive ever came in at 332 meters. At that depth, the pressure is like having 200 cars stacked on top of you. Yet we've only completed 3% of our journey.
How?
While this region
I mean,
seems
I
pretty
understand
grim,
all this
many
thing with
fish and
pressure
other
and
animals
stuff, but
actually
how can
spend
you
at
go
least
down
half
to
their
that
lives
level?
down here. During the day, it's a good place to rest and recover, hidden from predators in the vast, dark waters. At
I don't
night,
get it.
they can travel more safely into shallower zones to feed in the food-rich surface waters. In this transition zone between twilight and darkness, light becomes a powerful tool. Over 90% of the species indigenous to this deep environment use bioluminescence chemicals to create light. They do so as camouflage against the very faint sunlight, to send signals to potential mates, or to confuse and scare attackers. Or they use light to hunt. Another tool for survival in the dark is teamwork. At around 700 meters, we encounter a colony of siphonophores. They can be up to 50 meters in length, but are only as wide as a broomstick.
Do they even have
To
eyes
attract prey,
that work?
a colony
at
creates
this
a
depth?
tragically beautiful bright blue or red light and deploys a curtain of tentacles filled with toxic needles that kill anything
No.
that comes
Yeah, I
too
don't think
close.
so.
But most species living down here have to rely on an unlikely resource, marine snow. White, flaky stuff that constantly sinks from the surface to the bottom of the ocean. It consists of dead plant or animal parts, fecal matter, shells, sand, or dust. Even though this doesn't sound very tasty, without this crucial resource, life in the deep sea would starve. It's in this area that the most fascinating battles between two unlikely enemies could happen. Sperm whales hunt and attack giant squid the size of a house. While the squid fight back ferociously, they probably don't stand.
Is he referring to the octopus or the whale? The size of a house. The squid. There are squids the size of a house? I thought that shit was made up. Wait, for real? Look it up. What? I thought this was like the giant shark and you know all those creatures that were fucking made up.
Welcome to Uganda.
The size of a house. Okay, we're talking about the size of a house. Look at this one. This ain't the size of a fucking house. None of these even come close to a house. They're big, but they're not that big. If I were to lie down here, I would probably be like to here. This was like 2 meters long or something. All of these are just drawings and shit.
Welcome to Uganda.
This is not even big. Like this is not even big. Colossal squid.
Don't smash it.
There are no pic. Oh, what the fuck? What? Is this fake? This is fake. This is 100% fake. Look at it. Look at how badly photoshopped this is. Look at how fucking pixelated this is. There's a whale or something that they replaced. Yeah, there's a whale with this is a fin or something. Yeah, you see, there are no. I mean, yeah, I don't. There is nothing that shows how big they are. Like all these suggestions that you're asking me to type, they're only drawn pictures. Sources in description. Yeah, but there's probably it's a clusterfuck probably. Whatever.
A chance,
I don't
they do
know.
leave permanent marks on their killer's skin. As we reach
Maybe you
1,000
can't take a
meters,
photo of
deeper
it
than the
'cause
tallest
it's too
structure
deep
built
down.
by humans, we need to be careful. This is the Midnight Zone, a place of utter darkness. a barely explored wet wasteland consisting of nothing but endless
11
black
to
open
14
water.
meter squids.
At these depths,
You're
it's harder
including
for
the
a human
fucking
to take a
tentacles.
swim than to take a walk in space.
It's not as big as a
Finding
house.
food down here is
regardless.
really hard, so life had to adapt and become
Like big is not
extremely
just
energy
length.
efficient.
Big is like
The 30-centimeter long vampire
mass,
squid
you know,
that
not
floats
mass,
through the water
but,
without
you know,
motion,
like,
with long and slender catching arms
size.
extended. They're covered in tiny, stiff hairs which brush food from the water. This saves a lot of energy compared to actively catching food. For carnivorous fish, it's much harder to find food since living prey is quite rare down here. So the hunters have to get a perfect grip on their victim on first strike, otherwise it will escape into the dark. Many deep-sea predators have several sets of long and deadly teeth, like the viperfish, which uses its long fangs to trap even large prey and swallow it whole. Or the frilled shark with its impressive set of 300 teeth, which are curved backwards to hook their victims in their mouths. We sink further, below the 3,800 mark, as deep as the grave of the Titanic. We are now at abyssal depths. Here, life happens in slow motion. Preserving every last bit of energy is crucial for survival. Everything down here hovers motionless or swims in a slow, elegant fashion.
save
The
energy.
only time the animals living in this zone move fast is when they have to escape danger. Like the Dumbo octopod paddling with its ear-like fins, or the grenadier's fish with its slow, eel-like tail beats. At 4,000 meters, we finally reach ground again, the abyssal plain. It's covered in grey mud and rocks, dusted with the remains of marine snow, which is consumed by animals like sea cucumbers, shrimp, sea urchins, and sea worms. In some regions of the seafloor, small, dark mineral deposits can be seen. These are manganese nodules. Deep-sea corals and sponges use them to anchor themselves on the bottom of the sea. Though life is sparse on the deep seafloor, even down here there are oases. In the rift valleys, where tectonic plates are splitting apart, magma heats up seawater and creates dark jets of water and minerals as hot as 400 degrees Celsius that form elaborate chimneys and towers. Extremophile bacteria use the minerals to create organic substances that are the basis for unique ecosystems. As we descend further, we reach the deepest point of the abyssal plain at 6,000 meters.
Welcome to
For most of the seafloor, this is as deep as it gets. But if we want to get to the deepest point of the oceans, we're actually only halfway there. Let's enter the Hadal Zone, the underworld of the sea. It consists of long, narrow trenches that only make up around 0.25%
I wonder
of the
how hot it
oceans
is in
and
this
are
part.
among the most extreme environments on Earth. Only extremophiles exist down here, like the ethereal snailfish that holds the record for the deepest living fish ever seen at around 8,000 meters.
It's cold still.
We see spiky and sharp black rocks rush by as we sink down to more than 10,000. Until we reach the final slope, a trench inside the larger Mariana Trench with gently sloping sides that enframe a valley about 1.6 kilometers wide. This is it. The deepest point, the Challenger Deep, 11,000 meters below the surface. The water pressure here is 1,086 bar. Taking a swim here is like having to balance 1,800 elephants on top of you. But even here, life has found a way to thrive. Next to sea cucumbers, white and light pink amphipods wiggle their way through the water. Their size is astounding. While their shallow water cousins are merely a few centimeters long, the deep-sea version can reach up to 30 centimeters. And there are other things floating elegantly through the water. Plastic bags that were found by scientists in 2018. Even the remotest place on Earth is not safe from human influence.
What?
There's nothing left to do now, and our oxygen is running out, so we begin our ascent.
Welcome to Uganda.
Wait, have people actually been there? In
After
one of
hours of
these?
traveling through dark nothingness, we finally see a glimpse of light. we arrive back at a calm surface.
Robots.
The oceans are so deep.
I don't know.
There
Robots
is
or humans?
so much of them.
At the very
We owe it
deepest.
to ourselves and to our descendants to preserve them as well as we can. There are still so many wondrous things left to be discovered.
There's actual footage of that plastic bag.
So, you're all tingly now and want to go exploring? Why not start off with some juicy science? You can use our friends from Brilliant as your springboard for a knowledge deep dive. Brilliant is a website that helps you approach science in a practical way through interactive courses and daily problems in maths, science, and computer science. Instead of simply flooding you with information, you get the tools you need to untangle complex topics by yourself. It's hands-on learning instead of chalk and talk. Plunge in and get to the bottom of courses about things like geometry, waves and light, gravitational physics, and many more. Click the link in the description or visit brilliant.org/nutshell to sign up for free and learn more things than there are fish in the sea.
I
And
feel
there's
like
an
you should
extra perk
support
for
them.
kurzgesagt viewers.
By watching the ad. But that was enough ad for me. Watch Glenn Lawrence says, hey Forsen, react to this video. Forsen, enjoy. Very interesting video about chimpanzee. For it's 15 minutes. No. No more links. Same goes for you, Casualties, who says something in Finnish and links me a YouTube video. Two more Donny3 says, okay, so if squids has tentacles, yeah, that makes it longer than a house, but doesn't weigh 50 tons. It isn't as large as a house. So is 51 tons of gold larger than a house, since it has higher mass, but is considerably smaller in size? I didn't say mass. I said mass, but then I immediately retracted it. What I meant was area. Right? If you put up a ladder that goes on top of the house, all the way up to the top of the roof, do you consider it as big as the house? No, you fucking don't, because you need the fucking area as well, the width, the volume. So no, just because the tentacles reaches the fucking the height of the house doesn't mean that the squid is as big as the house. All right. But if there is, then that's fucking crazy. That is crazy. I think it's interesting. The deep underwater. I was a little bit disappointed though by the very deepest part, because that would be the hardest place to get to in Subnautica, right? So they should have some cool shit, right? That's what I think. Watch the guy who survived 3 days underwater. What, in like an air pocket of a cave or something? What do you mean? Of a boat? Air pocket of a boat? Why didn't he just swim up? Maybe it was, how deep was it?
Welcome to Uganda.
How deep down was he? 100 meters. Okay, I forgot the exact math on this, but with one breath, you can get very far while ascending, because the air expands in your lungs while going up. I don't know if it's 100 meters, but and then your lung explodes. No, you breathe out. You breathe out continuously. But you would have to decompress and stuff. along the way, so I don't think you can get up 100 meters on one breath, but at least not if you're not a trained diver. Actually, you can. What is the record of free diving depth?
Welcome to Uganda.
It's over 100 meters. It's over 100 meters.
Welcome to Uganda.
So you can do that
You will click on my link and react to my video Forsen Joy.
without
I am currently
any oxygen.
using my
that
Jedi
is.
mind powers on you Forsen Joy.
No. I don't even feel bad. I told you. No more. I'll click your link because of the Jedi mind tricks, but no, I don't want to watch a 15-minute documentary. Sorry. Not right now. Should have saved it for another day. Video about a guy surviving 438 days on a small fisher boat alone.
This video is made possible by CuriosityStream. Watch any of their more than 2,000 documentaries for free by visiting curiositystream.com. And it's bigger than all, probably won't be beaten anytime soon.
Video about a guy surviving 438 days on a small fisher boat alone, Pug.
And how his misadventure began. The boat was pretty small and not at all equipped for the nightmare that would come. It was basically a canoe with no roof or cabin, was only 7 meters long, and only had one small motor and a refrigerator.
Alright, that's very impressive. That is very impressive. We played a lot of survival games. Okay, I'm gonna watch this. Last fucking, don't say anything more. I will not click. I repeat, I will not click.
For storing their fish. They knew that a storm was coming near the area, but fishermen in these parts of Mexico can earn enough money in a day to support themselves for an entire week. So they decided to take their chances and traveled 120 kilometers away from the coast to work. At 1 a.m., the storm hit them and was threatening to sink their boat. In a panic, the two men cut their fishing lines and dropped everything they catch and most of their gear overboard to make themselves more maneuverable. They were 6 hours away from the coast, so they traveled through the storm and the night in a desperate attempt to get
Oh, was
back.
it two people?
By 7 a.m., they were only 24 kilometers
Oh, I bet
away
the one
from
guy
the
ate the other
coast
bug
and
guy.
could see mountains on the horizon. But then, awful luck struck
Banana
them,
blast, I
and
think,
their
with tier
motor
3 men.
died. Without any paddles, oars, or sails,
Newbies,
the
Sith
unusually
Wars,
strong
Foster
wind
Care
began
62
pushing their
months.
boat back out towards the ocean. Their onboard radio still thankfully worked, however, so they frantically reported their position to their boss, who responded saying that he was coming, but their battery died and all they heard afterwards was silence. Imagine the frustration that they must have both felt in that moment as their radio died and all contact with the outside world with it. And as they watched the mountains in the horizon that they were so close to slowly disappear as their boat that they were trapped on gradually was pushed back out into the vast abyss. Their boss did organize a search party that looked for them for days, but
Please,
their
Forsen,
boat drifted
please watch
further
this
out into the
video.
vastness of
It
the
has
Pacific
only
and
4
got harder
minutes.
and harder.
Get well,
So they
Levita, and we
eventually
will
forced
get
to give
some
up.
good
Just
reactions
5
from
days
you.
later, the winds had already blown them 450 kilometers off the coast
didn't link
before
anything either,
finally
so,
settling down. They were surrounded by nothing but ocean in every direction, and their boat was so small they knew that they probably would never be spotted from the air. They had no flare gun or any other way to signal for help other than by waving, so they knew that their chances of survival were going to be slim. They had no supplies left on board, so they were forced to catch tiny fish or birds that landed on their boat with their bare hands for food. They grabbed plastic bottles that they found floating nearby them and used them to collect rainwater for drinking water. But during long periods of no rain, they were forced to mostly drink the blood of turtles that they caught with their hands, or their own urine. Imagine going day after day, month.
What the fuck? The blood of turtles?
Welcome to Uganda.
What? I mean, I can see yourself drinking your own pee, right? But blood of turtles? I would never even have thought about that, right? You're on this boat, you're really thirsty, you're almost dead of thirst, but you don't think of drinking the blood of turtles.
After a month in a tiny box with only
How do you even
one
come up
other
with that
person
shit?
to talk to, and the only other ways to entertain yourselves being catching fish or napping. It's easy to understand how somebody could go insane under these conditions, which, according to Alvarenga's story, his friend did. The other guy, Cordoba, gave up hope about 4 months into their isolation and became suicidal. He got sick from all of the raw food that they were eating and refused to eat, and eventually starved to death. Alvarenga was then all alone in the middle of nowhere with no other human in sight as far as the horizon could see. A tiny speck inside
I wonder if he ate his
enormous
friend.
Pacific. And as you can see from this shipping map, the Central Pacific where he was somewhere at is a very quiet part of the world. Ships rarely come through this area, but even still, he claims to have encountered one when he was alone. A cargo ship apparently passed right by him and 4 men on board spotted him and waved. But they just kept moving past him and never even bothered to stop.
Oh
Imagine how
man, that
frustrated
must be
you
the
would have been again
worst.
if you were lost for months. You were all alone
Oh,
and you finally
no.
spotted rescue, but they just ignored you and kept on moving. 11 months in, and Alvarenga had traveled about 8,000 kilometers across the ocean in his tiny little boat. His clothes were shredded, and he only had a sweatshirt to protect himself against the sun.
Like, if I were on this boat,
Welcome to Uganda.
I would lean over the fucking edge of the boat, pretend to be unconscious or something, right? That way it's more likely for them to be like, oh shit, something is wrong, than if you're like waving, like, you know what I mean?
Finally, on the 30th of January 2014,
You would die day
he
two.
spotted coconuts bobbing around his boat and birds landing around him. He knew that land was near, and after drifting some more, he discovered an island that appeared to be uninhabited.
Oh,
it took him
shit,
half
here
a
we
day
go.
just to
Green
drift near
hell.
the shore when he finally jumped out of his boat and left its safety for the first time in over a year. He swam ashore and discovered
Okay,
a house, and
Forsen,
when he knocked,
you win this
made-
time. I might be old and my force powers are weak, but Forsen, I will return when the 2 suns on Tatooine are aligned. See you then, brother.
Alright. May the force be with you, man.
Contact with the first other humans since he left his village in Mexico 438 days ago, and after traveling nearly 11,000 kilometers. To put into perspective just how far away that is, imagine starting in a tiny boat in Lisbon, Portugal, and traveling less than 1 mile per hour until you drifted across the land to Hiroshima, Japan. Alvarenga ended up washing ashore on the Avon Atoll, which is the southern tip of the Marshall Islands
Wow.
and one of the most remote spots on the planet. Had he missed this spot, the next likely stop for him would have been the Philippines, nearly 5,000 more kilometers away. And since it took him 438 days to travel roughly 11,000 kilometers, it probably would have taken him about 240 more days to hit the Philippines. Fortunately for him, though, he somehow landed on this tiny, tiny speck in the middle of the biggest ocean on Earth and got himself rescued because of it. Later, he was flown back to his home in El Salvador, where he published a book and got himself sued by the family of his friend who died on the boat, because they claimed that he probably ate him. So, the lesson is, even if you survive more than a year stranded at sea, you could still end up getting sued over something that you may or may not have actually done while you were out there. But if you're like me and the
Who
ocean
cares if they
terrifies you so
sue? They
much
will
that
never-
you'll
it will never go
actually
through.
But you want to learn more about the terrifying scale and the weird creatures that live there anyway, you can learn more from the comfort of your phone or PC in your own home
I mean,
by checking
it's-
out
it's-
Curiosity Stream next. Curiosity Stream
It's one thing if he murdered him, right? Or killed him and ate him. But it's another thing if you just ate him to survive. And either way, you can't prove shit. You can't prove shit. But that is so impressive. To survive on a boat. Just the water must be such an issue. Like, the water must be the biggest issue ever. And also catching fish with your fucking hand. Like in an ocean. Like, what the hell? I don't know. I feel like the other guy, he must have thought it through when he decided to give up. Like, it's just impossible. And that was 4 months in. This guy went on for another fucking 12 months. Huh. Damn. Like, being stranded on an island is like 100 times better than this guy's situation. For real. Like, it's totally shit what he had to do. Totally shit. And then being stranded on an island is probably not that fun either. Not that fun either. Oh well.
Welcome to Uganda.
Let's do some competitive shit today. I am looking forward to some more survival shit though once Red Ridge and Subnautica comes out. Oh, there's another survival game. I don't know if you played that one. I was gonna ask you guys about that because I wasn't sure. Like, the reviews are really good. The reviews are really good. But I don't know if it has like permadeath and stuff. I forgot the name. I think it was called Deep or Stranded? No. I've seen it like up here in my Steam UI when I'm looking for games and stuff. Stranded Deep, yeah, exactly. Stranded Deep, that's the name.
Welcome to Uganda.
Is it like a permadeath mod in that game? Because it had like 20,000 very positive reviews or something. It's nice. With nice bosses. Oh shit.